I don't know why I even decided to watch this, but I just watched Cold Storage. Probably because I don't know. I guess I just like the main actor, uh, the guy. I don't even. Why don't I know his name? But the Joe, or just Joe, or whatever. How are you supposed to say it? The musician slash Steve Harrington. Anyway, uh, just saw the tags. It was a horror comedy. I was like, why not? Anyway, fucking kind of a silly premise. Human sent fungus up to space. It comes down from space, crashes like 18 years ago, and is super mutated and deadly, and it wants to kill and infect everything. I don't know if that's a really productive way of uh, life, but I guess maybe that's what that fungus wants to do. The greediness of it would just kill the whole planet. But anyway, um, so anyway, so they got to seal this thing away somehow. The U.S. Army slash United States government. So I won't speak on whether I think it's believable or not, but they sell this storage facility of extremely hazardous materials without removing said materials to another controlled by United States Army slash government facility. Uh, and yeah, they sell it to like a random storage place, which is why you get funny characters and not like military characters. I guess whatever. That's all that. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty ridiculous idea, but the world's a big and scary place. Um, anyway, to speak about the main characters, I really like the male female duo. I don't know the actors' names really. I'm just not really good with names like that. But anyway, they're both pretty likable and funny. He's a kind of a non-violent criminal associate through probably just being too nice of a guy, too happy to get along type of guy. So he has kind of he's basically just kind of a misfit in society now since he has a record. He can only get certain jobs. He's trying to better his life as shown by his, listening to like self-help podcasts and all this stuff, and the fact, that he's going through it. You can kind of see it in his behaviors. Life has not turned out how it's supposed to be, not necessarily because of who he is, but just maybe some circumstantial stuff. But he's trying to do better. Naomi, another really fun, smart character. She's kind of the reason why the plot even happens is because she like decides on my first night I'm gonna break into I'm gonna vandalize the property. Again, these are some pretty silly premises, but anyway, besides that, she's like a genius studying for vet school. She's spitting off scientific fact left and right and center. She's a very smart character, very pleasant character. She kind of can look past Travis's history a little bit. She kind of gets to know him. Although originally it sounds like she's not going to be very friendly, but she kind of grows into that. I think Travis just makes her comfortable to do that. Anyway, so then so this state secret's like sold and buried, and then like 18 years later, they just call like it's just such a weird premise. I really hope this isn't possible, but the whole new management and new regime does not seem to believe that there's any sort of problem here. So they just want a basic report. They send a retired, not non-payroll. I mean, maybe there's certain agreements that he made given his position, but like it just seems ridiculous that he's the only guy that shows up to the site. Him and his former boss show up to the site to save the day. But when he gets and this is I mean, I don't mind silly premises, but just execute it well. And I feel like him showing up alone to the site with a bad back and a giant nuclear device. I just don't think it's realistic. That, like he seems to be a very intelligent guy, except for this kind of major oversight. That there's no way to get the bomb down unless there's a non-infected, able-bodied, compliant person, which is like fucking the idea that was how they solved this problem is I'd say it's pretty much ridiculous, bro. I'd have got right in my fucking car. You know what I mean? Like I got right in the fucking car like the moment I had the opportunity. Anyway, but continuing on, so this all this silly shit is unfolding, but meanwhile, like it really wouldn't have mattered if our two main characters were there, other than the fact that they do save the world by carrying that nuke down. And if they weren't there, the world would have fucking perished, right? Although there is kind of all this is spoilers, by the way. Holy shit. And Anyway, so like this thing's already eaten its way out. It was just a matter of time, and that's how this was gonna play out today on this night anyway, regardless of the who was present. Because it's finally made its way out. It somehow infects a cockroach who gets out and infects a cat, a rat and a cat and like whatever, cat in a hat, fucking man is now infected, right? And they go into the facility, instead of like going to a stream, like the bacteria just seems to be selectively intelligent. It gives like the animal a superhuman level, a super intelligence. This deer is now taking the fucking elevator. Meanwhile, humans are, they're still human, but they're also kind of retarded now too. So I don't know. There's kind of there's an unpredictable effect of what's going to happen to a person's brain on this substance. The one girl just exploded. Anyway, that was kind of interesting to see the multiple ways they all behaved. Not that it matters. Anyway, so to continue, basically this thing is spreading, but it's not spreading outwards. It's spreading internally, which allows this nuclear plan to, I suppose, work. And the other main character, I don't know why I know his fucking name, but Liam Neeson, right? He's kind of just being like, I don't know, he's been this way for a little while, where he's kind of taken he just kind of adds dry humor into the roles, and he does it's funny. It's just a good time to watch it. But I think he made a whole movie about that recently. I haven't seen that yet. So he's just kind of being himself. But anyway, he's he very much knows the danger here. He's the only one who seems to know it, and his former boss. So he's gonna solve this fucking world's problem somehow. And he's going to be the only one to do it. You got Abigail, who's a fun character, just kind of the, patriot, right? She's just the patriot working the job. She's the fucking, she's a very high up agency, but she's just kind of the telephone, response line, right? Just kind of a job that it's absolutely necessary, not necessarily most glorious, but completely necessary. And she gets the 911 call, and now she's the operator. And her cooperation to the plan is essential for, I think, the success here. She's just she's just a fun part of the movie, but she kind of stays off to the sides. Anyway, somehow when it all comes to a conclusion, there's a lot of crazy little interactions between humans and like the boss, who's like so stupid, and he's like sees all these danger signs and thinks that now's the time to bully the guy that he fired. Who's he's just an idiot, right? He's a bumbling idiot, and he makes the situation so much worse. And just whatever, it all unfurls when they're all kind of getting to the door. The only problem I really have with the door scene or any parts of it is like, I guess just a little shootout. It's just like a weird little, I don't know. All I really say about it is when the fucking one biker dude blows up in the doorway, and now the water spreading, and when they first show the bacteria spreading, it's like it's spreading at like inches per second, right? So like 3 or 4 minutes pass, and now it's time for our heroines and heroes to come up from dropping the nuke off, and they walk right out the door. It's like this thing really should have spread everywhere. Like it was moving, and the stuff that's in the parking lot is moving, or at least it's depicted as moving, except for it seems to halt itself when all the action unfurls. But of course, it's just a comedy, silly movie. So, whatever. I'm not too upset about it. Anyway, so push comes to shove. They drive away. They make it out by the skin of their teeth, and they're all not infected. They live happily ever after. It's a fun movie. I think that you'll enjoy it. Hopefully, I guess you wouldn't want to watch that. Hopefully, don't go watch it, because I just told you everything that fucking happens, basically. So this is really not a great review, but a fun movie for all the people that did enjoy it and just wanted to kind of see somebody else's take on it.